Hey guys, Truth Waves here. What was it? So, I've been meaning to talk about this for quite some time now. Um, I also don't know if I did talk about it previously or go in as depth as I wanted to. Uh, a friend of mine has been asking me, uh, you know, to think, to ponder on whether or not I was hurt by a woman whenever I was younger. And truth be told, I mean, I'd say there's many experiences as far as that's concerned. Um, but I will say the first time I had my heart broken by a woman was my mom. And I know that sounds stupid or like, what? What are you talking about? Like, how is that possible? Um, but I'll make it, a simple story. So, whenever I believe it was 10, or yeah, I was 10 or 11. Um, there was a disagreement within my household or within my family, and my stepdad had gotten to a kerfuffle, so to speak, with my older brother, and essentially it was just a maelstrom of all these different emotions. I'm trying to keep it, as respectable as possible, but let's just say there was fighting, and everyone was upset, crying, this, that, and the other, and it really took a toll on me, because I care about my family, and I always have cared about my family, and I did the best that I could to keep everyone together, and there was always disagreements, different dynamics, especially with my stepdad and his side of the family, and my mom and her side of the family. And me personally, I don't inherently like my mom's side of the family, nor do I like my mom inherently. Now, I always, looked past that because I understand that people are people. And I understood that at a very young age that I was like, okay, you know, they have their perspective and their reasoning, and I think it's flawed, but you know, I can only do so much. Um, but back to the point is that during that, it had created a shift in my mindset. And what really, inhibited that, or not inhibited, but created a shift in my thought process was my mom. And I remember going into one of the rooms, and this is when my stepdad took his kids and left, and my older brother went and he left, and it was just me and my mom. And I went into one of the rooms, and she was just bawling her eyes out and crying and crying, and she yelled at me, completely went off on me like I had never seen before of her getting mad at anyone, not even my stepdad. Totally something else. Like, imagine, you know, a drill instructor just blasting, just complete blast, putting you on blast. But imagine being a 10, 11-year old kid and that drill instructor is your mom. And in a way that it's like, it was all my fault. It was nobody else's fault. It wasn't her fault for the events that took place, and I took that to heart. And I allowed it to dictate my actions from then on. And I still do. I still do. I hold that to my heart as something that is one of the realest experiences that I've ever had with my mom. And from then on, I told myself, do not trust her. Do not trust her. And I still don't trust her. Um, and I feel like that's okay. Not what happened, but I feel like my response was okay. And from then on, in a way, I learned extreme ownership from that experience. I took things more with a grain of salt. I allowed myself to be more open to punishment. And what I mean by that is more accepting of it. Of like, okay, well, did I do something wrong? Did I actually do something wrong? Or is my punishment just based off of emotions, feelings that are coming from somewhere else? And I rolled with that, and it helped me get through my childhood. I took things more lightly. Now, that's not to say that I didn't have my slip ups or my moments of just complete anger, frustration, this, that, and the other, or where I was completely in the wrong. But that shaped me moving forward for the rest of my life. And in a way, I'm glad that it happened, but also in a way, I wouldn't wish it upon anyone else just for the fact that I had the unction to grow up quicker, to understand more, to seek more perspective from everyone, and realize that we are all flawed. And I had to be there more, in a sense, emotionally and I'd say spiritually for my family. And that's what really shaped me growing up, was that moment in and of itself. And yes, that does have a play in, why I have more distrust towards females. Uh, and the thing with it is that my mother and my stepdad do not recall, you know, the events going as it did whenever I recall my experience. And that's one of the things that has hurt me, and I've learned to just let that go, or at least I feel like I have let that go. However, I won't let go of the moment that occurred. It did occur, it was real, and I do have a very strong distrust towards her. Now, maybe I'm in the wrong. Maybe I should be able to trust my mom. Maybe I should be able to come to my mother and be like, Mom, this is what's going on, blah, 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 and all this other stuff. But from that moment on, you know, it's changed me. And there's other moments where I learned not to trust her. Um, but yeah, so really, that was my first time having my heart broken by a woman. Um, but yeah, that's about it. I just wanted to share my testimony and just bring light to that. So I know that there are other people out there that have had their hearts, broken, or have had, issues with their mother, this, that, and the other, whatever it may be. Just know that you are more than just that one situation. You can move past that and grow and develop into a stronger individual. It is possible. You just have to keep pushing. So, as always, stay true, stay blessed. Amen.